together 100 million. Yes, sir. That is real knowledge. Like this here. Talk to him. Give him something. Skin to skin, bones to clones. Never leave your mind.
Welcome, friends, family, and disgruntled listeners to the 49th edition of To the Maroon, a show about everything and nothing. And happy Maroon Monday. Yeah, I am your host, Danny, aka Captain Maroon, and I will be joined in a minute by my co-host, Sean, also known by his rap names, Mr. Positivity, aka King Shingle. And in today's pod, we talk about the United States of propaganda. I mean, really, this is where we're at now. It's just everything is propagandized. It's just comical. And we dive into the hilarious State of the Union that was a little bit ago. The Second Amendment, red shoes, which is dark, and how it seems like the rapid rate of traumatic news lately is increasing. And why is it increasing? And then we discuss how we can balance out all this negativity, because it really feels like some big changes are coming. So let's buckle in for that. And with that, let's go on a journey, my fellow Maroons. Philosopher, help me out here.
Give it. West Coast back in the fold, bringing the fire like that Santa in a window. Sooner or later, gotta acknowledge this game. OG balance with that Minecraft thing. Hood to hood connections all across the globe. Putting these lives back where they belong. Been better since I stepped onto the scene. Kind of lyrics make your mama wanna sing. Unlock these doors, let me in. It's a philosopher with the gift of being. Musical tracks beginning to the end. California.
I want to have optimism so bad, and I feel like that is where they want us right now, is this sort of like, you're feeling helpless. You're feeling like, what's the point, right? So I feel like we have to fight that shit, dude, so fucking hard. We have to, because otherwise we're just going to be miserable, bitter, middle-aged men just going around, just fucking like, waiting in line at a grocery store, and then, someone's like, I don't know, buying some bleached chicken. And you're just like, you stupid fucking chud, Maha, make America healthy again. And they just made glyphosate a part of national defense.
Yeah.
You fucking idiot, and you want to just
fuck with the glyphosate.
Yeah. Don't fuck with our Roundup. It's like, oh my God. And you want to just go off. It's like, no, they are sadly a part of the problem, but not the problem. Some people are so in this fucking rat race, dude. They're so lost in this maze that, like, they're just not going to get it when you're screaming and yelling at them, and it's just not going to do it.
Yeah. We are the most propagandized people on the planet. You think of somewhere like China or North Korea or like, Uzbekistan or some shit, and they're like, you're being propagandized over there. They're open about it. Here's our propaganda. Let's do it. And over here, you truly believe that you're not being your freedom of thought.
Free,
like
from the source.
Yeah, we're getting it from the source, and look at all these different news sources, and we can all of these different personalities, and we can choose our ideology, and no one's going to tell us what to think. Bull fucking shit.
Yep.
It's probably worse now. I mean, the whole idea of like the legacy corporate news media, that was bad. But now, with the phone, you can be, you got your television, you got your computer, you got your phone, and particularly your phone, because it's really close to your face, and it has the kind of that light that just like, it like hypnotizes you.
Yep.
And you got the shorts and whatever. So, and the TikToks and the Twitters. So it is just 100 times more. And you can say, "Oh, well, I'm not watching CNN or Fox News." It's like, yeah, you're probably watching something 100 times more addictive.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and that's the point. And they know, like the same people who own, whatever, like Twitter and TikTok and have, they're advertising on there and they're pushing ideas there. They're the same people who own Fox News and ABC and Newsmax and CNN and all these other places. They're the same people.
Yep.
They're saying, all right, we're going to get the people who watch the legacy stuff with this, and we're going to get the millennials with this, and we're going to get the Zoomers with this,
Yep.
and we're going to we don't give a shit. Like we will blast our propaganda any possible like outlet that we can find. We will blast at you. And yeah, now I'm particularly since COVID, people are hooked on their phones more than ever. Constant traumatic news.
Yep.
By
the way, speaking of the traumatic news, have you noticed, someone pointed this out recently, that I didn't mean to interrupt your flow there, but have you noticed that when you said traumatic news, it triggered me, that the traumatic news seems to be happening very rapidly now? Like it used to be every couple years something horrific. Now it seems like it's every week, every month.
Yeah, it's every week, yeah. Uh-huh.
Have you heard the theory there's a reason why, and it's because they are trying to desensitize us to this shit?
Yeah. Oh, total. I haven't heard that theory, but it makes perfect sense. Yeah, it's like we got to get them used to this shit.
Yep.
I know I keep going. I know I keep harping on the ICE stuff, but that's why they have ICE, and they're sending Marines into like every fucking city that like says Trump's a big meanie. All of a sudden, Marines are sent there. It's like it's to desensitize people from like, oh yeah, no, there's just going to be ICE everywhere. There's going to be National Guard everywhere. There's going to be military everywhere, and it makes it's probably even easier to do with the news. Like the traumatic events is like, oh yeah, another school shooting. Oh yeah, another war started in Venezuela. Oh yeah, we just like murdered a bunch of Palestinian children. Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, and just to the point of like, all right, I'm either just going to break from sorrow or just be desensitized. That's probably where I'm at now. Is like, all right, I don't know what to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and I do it again. I have to fight that. I feel like so the rabbit holes are fun and absolutely illuminating and enlightening and all of it. But I was talking to my buddy just the other day, and he was going down a rabbit hole, and I was sending him stuff about AI, and we were talking about consciousness, and it was a deep conversation. And then I was like, man, at some point though, you got to pull yourself out of it, and like you got to think like, okay, I am being targeted, I am being manipulated, I am literally my soul and my spirit is being assaulted. I have to pull myself out of it and do something positive, or think positively, or whatever it is, man. Like if it's exercise, which I'm trying to do more and more now, or if it's like I'm finding out that vibration and sounds are incredibly important, and there's ways, like I saw this thing recently, this clip, and I want to say it's real. I kind of want to try it myself, where it said, forget ice baths, try a vibration bath. And I'm like, what? And this person like got in like it was like a bell almost, and they're just sitting there, and someone was like just hitting it, and it was like, gong. It was like ringing like a bell, and it was just like soothing. I don't know. I can't really explain it. It was kind of like, interesting.
That's cool shit. Yeah.
And apparently, because we're in this rabbit hole, dude, that there's a reason why they got rid of all the bells and all the church bells everywhere, is because they're producing a frequency that is actually calming for people. And they're like, well, we can't have that.
No.
We need these people we cannot. Agitated 24/7. And so it really makes you fucking wonder, like, okay, like I am under assault by the food. The food is poison. I mean, under assault by like fucking apparently the propaganda and all the misinformation. Yeah. I'm under assault by my senses now because they can go, okay, let's put out, like I'm sure there's frequencies that are negative and cause your body harm. If there's positive ones, if you believe that, well, there's got to be bad ones too. And I feel like they're just fucking bombarding us with this shit 24/7. And so you have to fucking break out of it, even if it's just temporarily. Even if it's like you're drowning in an ocean. Even if you're just like, like you just put your head above it for like a say, I'm breathing, I'm doggy paddling, and then 5 minutes later you're like, right, there's a shark, and you're like back to freaking out again. But you gotta bring the head above the water. Just be like, okay, like this isn't me. I have been dropped into an ocean of sharks, and they cut my leg like fucking Gladiator. They stabbed me before even I entered the arena. They were like, here you go, and they just dropped you in the ocean. All right, good luck. And it's like we stand no chance, it seems like, a lot of us. No chance. And once you realize that you've been put in this absurd position, it's like you gotta, like you're talking about, take the wins. I feel like you gotta take the wins when they come, man. And you gotta find any kind of fucking positivity, or any kind of, okay, well, at least I have this, or at least I got that, or at least I made an attempt today. Because it's so easy to just stay in your fucking room, lay on your bed and just doom scroll and just get bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. And then after a few hours, you're just, and then you go to bed. You're like, oh, that was fun. And you wake up the next day totally refreshed, right? Oh, wait. Fucking never, dude. It's just like, yeah, I'm now at that point where it's like, okay, I gotta like balance this shit. I think you need to learn. And then the more you learn, you're like, oh my God, this is so bad. And you go, okay, let me do some meditating over here. let me listen to some positive music. Not music. I noticed a lot of my music, because it's really fucking important. A lot of it, dude, is so doom and gloom and shit and sad. And I'm like, why the fuck am I listening? And then once you get on the algorithm, that's all it recommends. Here you go. Here's another sad song. And I'm like, dude, this can't be good to just have a bunch of fucking sad music all the time, right? You gotta balance that shit out. So anyway, that's where I'm trying to balance, Sean, because it is so easy to go full dark right now, full dark mode, and just go fucking nuclear on whatever, someone who's clueless. Or, dude, the other day I was watching the State of the Union, and I was like, don't watch it, Danny. It's just gonna aggravate you. And I'm like, no, I want to see what you're fucking being lied to about. And like I turned it on, and like he was just when Trump was like basically coming on stage, and like, they announced him, and like immediately everyone starts clapping, and then they go to Melania. Oh, Melania! This is big standing ovation, and just immediately I am yelling at the TV like I'm watching a sporting event. Like I only do this with sports normally. It's fucking holding. You kidding me? I only get that passionate. I was screaming at the TV. Like, you're showing her? Like, what the fuck is she? The first fucking, like, because she made a fucking movie on Amazon or whatever about herself. So we got to have
that nobody watched.
Nobody watched. And so we have to have this like 5-minute applause break for the first fucking lady. Who gives a shit, dude? Who fucking cares about Melania? And I was like yelling at the TV about that. Like, I'm in a room by myself, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting wrapped. And then Trump was talking about, hey, we gotta make America's back on track. I'm like, yeah, back on track to fucking pedophilia town, back on track to, fucking satanic worshiping. I'm like, you fucks. I was like screaming at the TV, dude. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, this isn't good, right? I'm like, okay, I know I'm this bad. I gotta pull out, because what does that do? I know how stupid that is when I watch a sporting event and you're going, oh, come on, that's a foul on Curry. How do you not call it? What does that do? Nothing. But it shows, at least, that you care. And for the first time in my life, I really care about this shit, because they're apparently murdering and eating children, and they might be putting it in the food. Have you heard that? You want to go down that rabbit hole?
Oh God, no.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. I don't think you want to, man. I don't think you want to. I've been down some dark rabbit holes recently, and I'm like, okay, just pull out. Abort. It's good to learn. And then also I'm questioning, like, okay, this is too far. Once you start going to flat earth, right? Though they have what did my boss say the other day? Oh, they have a device that can suck the soul out of your body. And I'm like, too far. You're in it too much, you know?
Oh, you know about the red shoes?
No, what?
Well, okay. You can cut this out if you want, but anyways, somebody was telling me. She says, "Oh yeah, the Epstein class or the the elites. They take babies and they they like turn them inside out so that it's like they're red, and then they wear the babies as shoes. Um, so it's like
What?
because so that they can get away with it. And and I'm like, yeah, the sad part. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
But the sad part is if it turned out like, oh yeah, it's true. They are taking babies and turning them inside out and then wearing them as red shoes. If it turned out that that was true, like, oh, here's direct evidence. I I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be like, oh, how could this be? It would just be like, Jesus Christ, it's sad.
Sean,
Yeah.
that's how they want you to feel, man. That's exactly how they want you to feel. Oh, whatever. Yeah, I believe. They're like right now listening to this going, hey, we got another one. He'll be fine. We'll just we'll open up a new hot yoga class near him, and he'll be just fine. We won't even.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And you know what? No, Sean. No.
It's walking distance. Yeah, it'd be pretty good.
Distance, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I am not going to be desensitized to this shit because I am so fucking weird. I'm finding out that I don't think they can deprogram me or program me. I think I'm too far gone. And so I think that's going to be my weapon is like, no, you trying to fuck with me? Like, like I am weird. I am out there and I don't even care about hiding it anymore. I don't give a shit. I don't care about conformity. I don't care about, oh, I'm going to stand out. Next topic. So, it's a wild bullshit ass fucking time. And I'm not sure how much longer this will go on with us just getting outraged and then nothing happens. I feel like something's happening, Sean. I really feel it in my bones, buddy. Because I was seeing some stuff. I was like, I couldn't sleep. I was seeing stuff where people were saying, we're forming our own militia. If you want, right now, we're designing the website. We're designing the logo. If you want to join us, here we are. And I'm like, oh my God, this is why they're trying to take away the guns. Like, because they don't, this terrifies them. They're like, wait, they're fucking organizing now.
And who's the biggest sort of like no guns guy? Turns out Donald Trump. Because Alex Preddy, heaven forbid, stood filming and was shot in the back as he was on his face. And you can't bring a gun to a protest, says all the people who cheered for Rittenhouse. And they said, okay, Trump, what do you think? And Trump, he says, can't have guns, no guns. So the guy who was supposed to protect gun rights from all those evil woke liberal mobs he is the one coming for your gun.
Is now saying no guns. No guns.
No guns.
Yeah.
No guns. Yeah.
He was supposed to drain the swamp and immediately it was like, let's release the Epstein files because it has all my political opponents in it and all my enemies. He was such an egotistical asshat that he really thought he was never going to have any, because that's what happens when you live your entire life and have no accountability and just do whatever the fuck you want, as he has said multiple times in private and basically in public. What am I saying in private? He said it both. You really don't think that your fucking feet are ever going to be held to the, to the fryer. You feel like you're never going to. So someone's like, well, why is it all of a sudden, that he's in all these files? So think about that. It's like, what do you mean? He was always in the files. It was like, well, then why did he want to release them? It's like, because he really didn't think he was going to get caught. He like, don't you, doesn't that sound completely believable to someone who's that much of an egomaniac?
Oh yeah,
of course he doesn't think he'd be caught. That's what happened. And then
he at some point he said, because it was, oh, the Epstein files are on my or on the Attorney General's desk, and then they sent out from the Department of Justice. They said, all right, Epstein files are done. There's no evidence that Epstein was linked with anybody. It's over. That just shows how brazen they are. Like they could have just kept dragging this out. For years, just like the Biden administration did. Like, we're not going to talk it, but no, these guys talk about it. They have their little show where they have everybody holding up the binders. The Epstein files.
What a farce that was.
Fuck
it. Stage.
Oh my God. Jesus, what a bunch of fuck. Speaking of asshats, anybody was holding that binder. If you're listening to this, you are a fucking joke. And then it was, now we're going to release everything. And then the Department of Justice says, nothing to see here. It's over. And then that's when the whole, like, no, we want to see all the other. That's when everything really picked up. But if they had just let it lie, if they had just ignored it, they could have gotten away with it. But they're so stupid, and they're so brazen, and they're so like, what are you going to do to us? That cocky, that it's like, all right, you really stepped in some shit. So I'm glad for that. I'm glad that they're so cocky and so stupid. That's probably the biggest help.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. I do feel like even though I was saying earlier that I don't know if anything's going to happen, the more I think about it, it's like I feel like there is something going to happen, like actual resistance, because there is a point you can't push people so far where they're never going to fight back. They're never going to fight back. And I got to say, it's hard to continue to do these pods acting like everything is normal, pretending like a war isn't going on, just going through the motions. And if you feel that way, I think it's because you still have a conscience, a soul, a figment of humanity left. And it's screaming at you that something is wrong with this world, with people who aren't waking up. Why aren't more people caring? And you get into this feeling of dread and hopelessness that just surrounds you like a blanket, just while you're being bombarded with all the horrific news lately, with 24/7 coverage, sensationalized media, social media posts, that get you to react based on emotion. And then when you feel this way and you start to lose your empathy and you stop creating, you stop building, you stop critically thinking, you stop caring, you stop your passions. And then all these negative feelings that you're having all at once, you go into a shell, the spiritual fetal position, if you will. You have to realize that is exactly how they want you to feel, that your very essence is defeated. You must resist. You cannot feed that beast what it wants. You have to balance between being informed on what is going on around you, and at the same time, don't let the negative bullshit penetrate your soul and stop you from pursuing your passion, from shutting down your creativity, from building a community, from talking to your loved ones, from laughing. You have to wake up to what is going on around the globe, but at the same time, not drown so much in it that you cannot act, that you cannot feel. Only feeling like you're trying to get your next breath. Because these fucking demons feed off that. And I say, we stop giving them what they want. Just some food for thought. Thanks again for listening on our journey to the Maroon.
Who's gonna cry? Does anybody say goodbye? Does anybody ride? Who's gonna funk with me down the way? 100-bar episode by your boy The Train, aka the Philosopher, building back the tracks back to back to back. Believe that. Yeah. Yeah. He gave it to me, so I'ma give it back. Yeah. He gave it to me. I'ma give it back. Believe that. He gave it to me. Yeah. He gave it to me. Yeah.
That might be a good end there to the recording.